When you came home or whatever, and like insurance and benefits, because that's obviously like a big deal when he carries that. So how do you know whenever, I mean, obviously you need to be financially where you want to be, but did you guys sacrifice at all just to like make it happen? Like, I feel like we could give a few things up and he could come home quicker, but like the insurance thing, and there's just all these, well, what about this? What about this? So did you have like a checklist of things that you went down before you're like, push the button on that?
She didn't have a checklist. She just said, come home.
Yeah.
It's not that simple. And a lot of you know my story. I have cancer. I was diagnosed back in '04. So benefits to me was a huge deal. And I worked at a hospital. So not only did I get that 80% covered, but they would throw in the rest of it just because I worked there. And I went to treatments on site. Walking away from that was nerve-wracking. So that's when we first talked about it. We said, all right, instead of me just coming home, retiring, coming home, and with business, let's explore how many hours I can cut down to, still retain all my benefits. Okay, and that was really more me out of fear, not just, but I'm not built that way. I probably should be. There's a lot of things we made mistakes where we didn't pray about it and we didn't do the right thing. We knee-jerked and did something stupid. But this felt right. Let's cut down to the hours. Let's start seeing how I can help you in the business. I have that much extra time. Still retain the benefits, all the while I'm able to research business, our corporate incorporating and doing all this stuff, what kind of benefits I can get through that. So yes, I had to prove to myself that we made enough money that I could spend $600–700 a month on just me. I couldn't even put the family on it. It would just be me. So I got them set up first on a separate. And then I did the research and we made the move and here we are. And it's been well worth it. But you got to put a lot of thought into that. I mean, even if someone doesn't have medical issues like I did, your husband, I'm sure they're all proud men. And, I had to kind of look at my man card and go, I'm about to throw this thing out the window because my wife passed my salary within 2 years of starting this. Not only she passed my salary, she embarrassed my salary. So, and that's hard for a guy. That's hard for a guy to deal with because, I'm going to die a happy man. I said this the other day, I'm going to die a happy man if I can just be a good husband and a good father. That's all I want to do. And if I do that well, I'm going to be happy. But it's kind of something you have to get used to as a man, letting those reins go a little bit. Because we're worried about how other people are going to perceive us. We all are, whether you admit it or not. We're all worried about that. I don't want anyone to think that I wouldn't just lay down my life for my family, because I would. And if I had to go back to work right now, I would. And I could get a job in a week. But that's God. That's all it is. That's a lot of prayer, and it's all worked out, and it's been awesome. And I don't know if that helps anyone, but
But he did
as far as a man's
research,
psychology,
he researched tons, and so we're technically on a different insurance, the boys and I, and he's on a different one through his business. But he researched it. He's like, it's going to be this much. Can we afford this? Is this worth it? Is this a good thing? So we went and talked to everyone we knew: Robert Hudgens and Melissa Hudgens. We talked to who else? We talked to Brett Jolene, of course. And we talked to Kevin and Molly. We talked to a lot of people. What do you do? Because that is the first time we even thought that. But we do without insurance. We won't. We can't because of him. And God made a way. But it was timing too.
And if something happened to me and the insurance wasn't adequate, it could just bankrupt us completely. No joke. I mean, every time I had chemo, I think the bill, if you did 6 weeks, is what it's standard.
Well, it was 6 rounds.
6 rounds, whatever. Well, a round is like one.
Well, it's 6 times then. 6 times you get chemo.
And then I did that like 5 times.
Yeah.
But each time you did that, it was over $1 million. And there was only one chemo that was really bad. And just to give you an example, this is not a pity party thing, but it's just I got this little shot. Shot was that big. It was literally that big. Because my white cells wouldn't recover, and I kept getting sick and sick and sick. And they stabbed me with this little tiny thing. Oh, that's cool. The thing was $10,000.
Like, it's just crazy.
It doesn't make any sense.
But it can be worked out.
Yeah.
God can make a way.
That's the point.
But
it was hard
timing. Like, I wanted it now, But that's why I married that guy, because he's like, no, chill out, let me figure this out. And it had to come in stages. And a lot of growth occurs, by the way, as you're doing this personally.
Yeah. Okay, I have one.
Yes, no.
Okay. Who was it? Me?
Go ahead.
Somebody else. Okay. All right. So we have it's two spouses, or both of us, working crazy jobs, lots of hours, supporting each other. Nobody's really even thinking about stepping back from anything at any point. Do you think we can both be the best we can possibly be without one person being secondary? Because that is the constant talk in our home. As the woman, I feel like it's my job to, this weekend, he's speaking at a conference and I was supposed to be here. I felt like it was if somebody was going to pull back, it would have had to be me. 2 weeks from now, he's speaking in Panama City and I'm going with him to support him because he would do it for me, but I'm already like nervous, sweaty, thinking about, oh my gosh, how am I going to leave for a week? I don't even know if I'm going to have internet and stuff like that. So we're trying to support each other, and we're not in a place, both of us are very much happy in our careers, and we're very much happy supporting each other, but does that make sense? Yeah. Neither of us, are we just treading water? Are we holding each other back by neither one of us giving in to the other one and saying, you go harder, I'll step back a little bit?
Why did you get into this?
Because I loved it. And I like to work.
Be more specific?
Sure. Well, it's an entrepreneur thing. So I love Beachbody. I mean, it was just a discount thing at first, and then I saw that it was 3 years we sat on it. We moved to Delaware, and I had a studio in Georgia. We moved to Delaware. I had to do something, so I gave it 12 consecutive months of hard work, and it was amazing what happened. So I was like, I'm in. But I also own a fitness studio as well on the side, too, that I love. And I have all these other things in my head that I want to do, too.
So you kind of have a happy marriage between what this does and your studio.
Yeah. I mean, they're separate, but it totally goes together well.
There's a lot of people in it. A lot of people like it. It's not really separate.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned. I mean, we got into this because we like to stay fit already.
Right.
So it just made sense to me.
Right.
We weren't selling soaps and stocking junk and trying to, it made perfect sense. It was a fit.
Yeah.
If it didn't work, it didn't work. We still got products, and we still would have gone to GNC if we didn't get them from there. We would have got them from somewhere else.
Right.
So people are paying us now.
Yeah.
To do what we want to do.
Yeah.
So what does your husband do? I mean, no, sorry.
He's a master. He's an associate.
Okay.
But it's but I mean he works 60 hours a week. Stuart that spoke today, his job title is basically the same exact thing as Kent's. It's all over the place. So it's like, I love supporting him. Like, I don't feel at all like he's supposed to step down. But our life is crazy. So then, and we have 2 kids. So it's like, who pulls back and calms down?
Are you happy?
Yeah, we are.
Why change anything?
Yeah, true.
I hate to say something like that.
No, that's good. That's good. I don't know if we're putting a ceiling on ourselves by not letting one person
I understand what you're
go
saying.
full force.
Is he okay with working 60 hours a week?
Yeah.
My thought, maybe from others, if you're not in that happy place, because we ran into this a lot, and if I did marriage counseling for anybody, I performed Lauren's wedding. Hey! So I want you to know that I am on the side of your marriage. So if I'm doing counseling with somebody, you establish that. So Team Myers is my goal. So when something comes up, what's best for our family? And we think we did that when we walked the aisle, that I'm committed to you and whatever, and we lose that somewhere because we're selfish beings. Wait, if you do that, that means I'm stuck with the kids. That means, wait, what's best for our household?
Yeah.
And I want your husbands to be able to lead that way, but I don't know how you get them there. You may have to model that, and that's why some of you sacrifice, and you're always the one doing that. At some point, wait, we both walked down that aisle. We both were in agreement on that. And I'm constantly having to check myself with that because, I mean, the bathing the kids and doing the stuff, I mean, gosh, cooking the meals, the role change that happens for Michelle to be able to grow was nothing I thought 10 years ago that I'd be doing those tasks. But life changes, kids are this age, all that stuff. I've just had to learn to roll with some of that. But my responsibility as the leader of my household is to do what's best for my family. So that's why sometimes with insurance, I mean, I'm dragging my feet on that. We just had a conversation with the church of how do I get to 30 hours, which still keeps my benefits, something Lee walked down that path. I'm now doing that where I still live out my God-given calling. I just don't want to be there 6 days a week. 30, I'm in my sweet spot. I feel like I'm being faithful, but my first ministry is to my household, so I can do that. Because if I don't, Michelle and I are going to run and our family's going to drown. And I don't want you to get there. Sounds like you admitted, wait a minute, maybe there is this sweet spot where we're doing it.
We're both happy doing what we're doing, happy sacrificing, but for the good of, like, because neither of us have plans so somebody's gonna, we can't go like this
Do you feel like
forever.
your kids are suffering? I mean.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna cry.
Now, listen to me. I'm not saying that because we all go through this. We all, and that's half the reason I wanted to come home is because of what was wrong with me. I wanted all the time I could get with my boys.
Yeah.
All of it. And I felt a little selfish with that too because, okay, it's all kind of on me now when I do that. Once I do that, until I can really become legitimate at helping her in this business, that's a weight to bear, especially for a guy. It's worse. It's horrible. And I'm still working at this. I'll probably be working at this for the rest of my life, trying to get it right and trying to do things. And you know, I like letting Mindy sleep in sometimes.
That's the best thing.
She loves to sleep in, boy.
Not like every day.
But I said this, she works hard, and sometimes I have to stop her from working until 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, hello, come on, turn that off. I'm going to sleep. It looks like a disco in here.
I tried to go under the covers.
Unless you're going.
And he's like, I can still see you. Like I'm about 5 minutes. How can you see me?
There's a little dancing going on.
There's no dream or success that's from God if it costs you your family. So you're
Absolutely.
constantly going to have to check on
Amen.
that, right?
Just do what's.
I mean, would that be like Satan to bless you financially and cost you your family?
There's no dream.
Everybody knows somebody that money destroyed their marriage. So your goal can't be making lots of money.
Right, you have to have it.
For us, that's what it's done for our family. So if that's our non-negotiable, all right, then you back off on Beachbody. It's not going away. I mean, y'all are this is the two of y'all having an intimate conversation.
Yeah.
The way God wired you, the way God wired
Right.
him.
I just don't want to let anybody down.
You don't let somebody down.
No one does.
Everybody wants 100% of you, so
Yeah.
don't let your clients get what your kids
Be
deserve.
important.
Yeah.
Hey, Lisa,